Hello and welcome to Green Homes and Bacon, and in this week's episode I'm scootering back out to the eco village in Currumbin to profile another amazing green home, and of course to meet its owners over a fabulous cooked breakfast. So, follow me!
Why don't you come on back to me? You know, little honey, I'm gonna set you free. You better forget those other guys. You and me, honey, can laugh and laugh all night. So let's try rolling on, let's have another.
You're watching Green Homes and Bacon.
We're headed for the town of Currumbin, which is best known as a quaint beachside village located at the southern end of Queensland's Gold Coast. Sitting in the shadows of surfers' paradise, this quiet but popular seaside suburb offers stunning surrounding and hillside real estate. Sunrises are an understandably early morning favourite for the surfers, the fishermen and the photographers. A small range of boutique shops and cafes line the Esplanade, which also plays host every year to the internationally renowned Swell Sculpture Festival. But we're headed just a few kilometres into Currumbin's rich and lush hinterland to one of the world's most awarded and applauded eco-residential community developments, which is the Eco Village at Currumbin. And this is Travis and Amanda Quinnell, along with their very modest green home, which as an architect Travis designed and had a hand in building. But it wasn't built to include any children. So who are these bundles of joy and surprise?
Eva's just turned 4 and Hannah's now 4 months old.
Nearly 5 months old.
Nearly 5 months old. Both were very, very nice surprises.
And
So-
because it's fair to say that you didn't build this house to include Hannah, did you?
No.
Or
no.
Eva.
Or Eva.
Or Eva.
No.
We're
Eva.
actually living in London. We lived in London for 8 years, and we'll tell you about that story in a little while. But basically, yeah, we were told we couldn't have kids, so we wanted to have a house back on the coast near our families and things like that. We loved the eco village and thought this is where we'd like to be, but we designed this house for us and a guest because we were told we couldn't have kids, and we designed it with a master bedroom and a second bedroom, and that's fine. Now we've got 2 kids. Luckily, they're both girls. So,
They can share.
Why is
a
that
room.
luckily?
well,
they can share a
the
room
for a
and-
while
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, lots of families sleep together in the same room, so it's no big deal really, for the time being anyway.
Yeah.
Until they get to
Till they're
teenagehood,
teenage years.
Yeah.
and we'll see.
And then Dad's already designed another.
Oh, you probably might have
Another
moved.
wing.
Well, so do you think you'd be here for some time? Do you think you'd be here when the
we,
girls are
we
teenagers?
built this. This is a fantastic environment to raise a family and to live in. You know, as you'll see, that it's absolutely beautiful looking out. We've always wanted to live in a place where I don't have to lock up my bike, where we can look out and see greenery all around us and have wonderful neighbours. So, you know, we're sitting pretty at the moment. We can't see us moving in the near future anyway.
Knowing you design these homes, you know, the terms that we've sort of floated around as an eco home, a green home, a sustainable home, but they probably all encapsulate the same thing, don't they? About being environmentally friendly, sustainable and efficient.
Yeah.
But
But
in-
it's also really healthy.
But yeah, exactly. So encapsulated in that description, or encapsulated in those in that definition, would be that the home is very healthy.
Oh, most definitely. Because you just have that natural light coming on all day. Like, it's very rare that we have any lights on until, until it's sort of dusk.
Except
And
that
except for the one above for today. But
Except for filming.
but it's really interesting. Like, if I go around to other people's houses, they're really dark, and you have to have the lights on, and they're not facing the right way, and
Yeah. Well, look, it's passive solar design at the absolute basic. You know, anybody can do it. You can face your house north, get the natural light in, and then get the ventilation in as well, and it just lightens up the house. Get a free-flowing feel to your home as well. And it's simple, and anybody can do it to any design.
Right. So half of the battle in achieving, if you like, a green, healthy home is just about design. It's just
Yes.
about where it's situated, how it's situated,
and the design components that let in sun when you want it, not when you do want it.
Yep.
The light, ventilation, and that's half of the battle, isn't it? And having an efficient home.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, everyone sort of when they come here, you know, so they sort of say, oh, the houses are still quite close to each other, but we're all still able to face north, even though we're on, you know, potentially standard house, you know, just a little bit bigger than a standard house block, and you don't have that issue of, you know, because they're all designed in a certain way. You're not, you know, as we look up to someone else's kitchen, but you know, that's actually quite social. You know.
The eco village is set up in hamlets, so we've got a hamlet with a greenway space in the middle, and everybody, like our kitchen and our dining area, faces that greenway space, and that's part of the codes here, that your living space faces there. So you've got the whole community network happening in that greenway space, so our kids can go out and play. Everybody can see everybody's house. But then you've got that sort of privacy as well. As soon as you get out of this zone, you've got your own private sort of little sanctuary. So it's sort of the best of both worlds.
So you've got an extremely green, efficient and sustainable home.
Yeah.
And because that's what you do for a living, Travis.
But
would you call yourselves greenies?
No, I don't think we'd call ourselves greenies. Well, I don't go hugging many trees, but we try and be as sustainably conscious as we can. Like, especially with our nature, we built this house on recycled materials. I'm a big believer in that. Not only do I love recycled materials and hardwood, and it gives a really nice feel to the place, but it just makes sense to. I hate seeing things go to waste. And there was 2 houses that were being demolished, and we basically went in and salvaged all of the timber out of these houses, and I've used almost every stick of timber from that in these houses. The kitchen and the joinery, everything was made from this timber. And we've just managed to do everything. So it's been really good.
She's really hungry.
And so, as Eva reminds us it's breakfast time, we'll head to a break and see what's served up next.
Okay.
You're watching Green Homes and Bacon.
And so, as man about the house Travis finishes up his bacon, eggs and mushrooms delight, followed up with his fruit from their own garden smoothie, he gives us a brief insight into the perspective that shaped their lives.
Well, we've been together for a long time, for 21 years or something. So our family is basically, we couldn't imagine life without ourselves, and now our additions of our little girls have just added to it. We've got a very lucky lifestyle that we lead. We're very privileged to lead this lifestyle, so we take nothing for granted. And I think Amanda's job sort of puts a lot of things in perspective. Amanda's a cancer nurse, and so she sees a lot of troubled situations and has a different perspective on life to most people. So that gives us a bit of a perspective as well.
I guess we'd have to. So was that help? This is probably like a sanctuary then for you too, coming home at night.
Yeah, definitely.
Of a day.
Yeah, it's like...
Because it's a beautiful surrounding. Everyone's going to get to see this pretty soon.
Yeah, it is though. When I come home, I really don't want to leave again.
Yeah.
And when I do go, it is, obviously I'm not working at the moment, but I will be back there soon. But yeah, it is after a long day at work, just to come in here, it's almost like, it's finally home.
And so do you work because it's just great to get away from the kids, or do you work because of the pressures of being a modern family trying to own a home?
I think it's the pressure of. I think some of it I really like what I do. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it, because I wouldn't leave my girls to do something I didn't feel passionate about. But I think when Travis is running his own business, just having that regular income definitely takes that stress off.
So, what other sustainability issues do they incorporate into their everyday lives?
Well, we recycle everything. We use everything that we can. We try and live out of our garden if we can. Try and be sustainable like that.
Go to local markets.
Yes.
Yeah, we go to the local farmers markets. We only buy organic food.
Yeah, we don't have any plastic bags.
Yeah, we go to the rubbish dump maybe once every 2 weeks just for a bag of the plastics that you get for the things that you can't not have. But generally, yeah, we try and think sustainable. Like, we don't have any. what's it called, formaldehydes or
Yeah.
anything
Yes.
in it. Our water's all from water tanks and things like that. So, trying to be a greenie. We may very well be classed as that, but it just depends on your term. I would have thought greenie.
We don't think about it anyway.
Well, it's a loose. I use it loosely because
Yeah.
I think the definition, or perhaps what the public might perceive as being a greenie, has changed a lot in probably the last 20 years, if not certainly the last 10.
I think it would maybe also because around here it's just the norm.
Yes.
Yeah, see, everybody lives like this around here. We've got very like-minded people all the way around.
So you probably say that when I mention the term a greenie, it's really just more of a conscious way of living that lessens your impact, perhaps, on the environment.
Yep.
And as you said, Travis, that you just hate things going to waste.
Yeah.
I feel pretty much exactly the same. That you do see a lot of waste in every day, every walk of life.
Yeah.
Things that can be used, reused.
Not only that, it adds character as well. And, we moved into this house, and the day that we moved in, we felt like we'd been here for 20 years. We've got 120-year-old floors, we've got walls.
Everyone sort of walked into the house. We had this sort of
Yeah.
eco-village party not long after we moved in, and everyone just walked in and went, this house just feels like a home. It feels like it's been here for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you get.
And we used E0 paints and all that sort of thing as well. So you walked in, you had
There
no
was no
new
smell.
house smell or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just amazing to, exactly what we wanted to achieve, and we did. So that was really nice.
And it's a healthier style of living.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's a healthier style of living. Do you
most
associate
definitely.
health with having a?
Well,
I say it. I mean, how would you term
Yes,
it?
the bananas already.
I mean,
messed
knowing
with,
that
sorry.
Travis designs,
Yeah.
knowing you design these homes, the terms that we've sort of floated around as an eco home, a green home, a sustainable home, but they probably all encapsulate the same thing, don't they? About being environmentally friendly, sustainable, and efficient.
yeah.
But
But
in-
it's also really healthy.
But yeah, exactly. So encapsulated in that description, or encapsulated in those in that definition, would be that the home is very healthy.
Oh, most definitely, because you just have that natural light coming on all day. Like, it's very rare that we have any lights on until until it's sort of dusk,
Except
and
that
except for the one above me for today. But
Except for filming.
but it's really interesting. Like, if I go around to other people's houses, they're really dark, and you have to have the lights on, and they're not facing the right way, and
Yeah. Well, look, it's passive solar design at the absolute basic. Anybody can do it. You can face your house north, get the natural light in, and then get the ventilation in as well, and it just lightens up the house. Get a free-flowing feel to your home as well, and it's simple. Anybody can do it to any design.
Right. So half of the battle in achieving, if you like, a green, healthy home is just about design. It's just
Yes.
about where it's situated, how it's situated, and the design components that let in sun when you want it, not when you do want it.
yep.
The light, ventilation, and that's half of the battle, isn't it? And
It
having
is,
having an efficient home.
Okay, so with all these pressures of work and family, living cleaner and greener, is there any time for sports or hobbies?
We do a fair bit of bird watching as well. Never intended to be bird watchers, but you just cannot be amazed by the amount of birds we have here. And you do an armchair twitch where you sit in one area for 24 hours, and we spotted 46 species of birds just from our balcony in one day.
Can you name them?
Oh, I can.
You can. You.
I
So
can
you are a
name
bird
most of
watcher.
them. Well, it's taken 3 or 4 years of us living here to actually be able to spot them and name them. But I'm not that very good. I can see them and say that's a bird, and then I've got a little guide now and I can tell maybe half of them now, but that's about it.
Is that just a step up from train watching?
Well,
watching?
yeah, we didn't do that. And then we have kangaroos which hop around like mad, and there has been the odd dog that strays through the village, and you see the kangaroos just bolt when that happens. And so, without having dogs and cats here, that's turned a lot of people off actually. The village living, I would have thought. We did have a dog when we first moved out of home, and we just felt we couldn't do satisfaction to the dog. You've got to exercise them. And we were off working and training and all that sort of stuff, so we didn't have time to actually dedicate to it.
But on a really still night, there's
No.
a long way away, there's a dog. and you hear it barking, and you just in those some of those nights you think, thank goodness that doesn't live right next door to us.
Travis, as an architect, do you solely design sustainable homes, or is there a mixture of what you do?
Well, I started on a lot of commercial and retail stuff on the coast, and I've been doing it for 25 years now. And I found when I went to the UK, I focused on, I worked for a firm there that did just purely housing, got really involved in it, and sustainable housing. And over in the UK, they've got very high sustainability guidelines. By 2016, all the homes will be zero carbon homes. So we focused in the company, focused on reaching that goal earlier than what it was needed to, and so that gave me a good insight on what we had to do to achieve that. So coming back here, it is something new for me, working back on the Gold Coast doing this. I did a lot of residential when I was younger, but doing sustainable residential stuff is actually, you know, it's great. It gives me a drive to sort of do something new. And I think you need that in any job. I've been doing it for 25 years, so you do need challenges. And perhaps in another 10 or 15, I might be looking for some other challenge, but at the moment, just getting the best out of design and residential is what I'm focusing on.
So when you design this, say it's called a standard home, a non-sort of sustainable home, do you find that you still somehow sneak those design principles in?
And right after the break, we'll check out Travis's answer, plus we'll have a look through their very green home.
You're watching Green Homes and Bacon.
So, as a building designer, Travis specialises in sustainable or green homes. But when his clients ask for anything but a green smart home, does he still sneak in those intelligent green home design principles?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, sustainability, for me, it encompasses more than just a couple of materials and direction and things like that. It's all about cost as well. People have got to be able to afford it to make it worthwhile and to make it bigger and make it a standard function of it. So there's cost, there's aesthetic, making sure it looks good, making sure you're not impacting the ground at all if you can. And then the materials and part of it, but making the home comfortable. Anybody would do that anyway. So sneaking them in is making a comfortable home is no problem at all. Everybody loves it. And one lady actually did come to me and she said, I don't want to hear any of that eco blah blah blah. And I said, fair enough. And then I just said, look, you know, I'll just design the house as you like it. And then I did put cross ventilation in, high level windows, fully insulated walls, floors, ceilings, and made it a 7-star home. And put photovoltaics on the roof to counteract her electricity bill and all this sort of thing. And at the end of the day, she really liked what I did and loved the house. But I said, well, you realise I've done this, this, and this, and this, and this. And she said, oh, yeah, you have too. Oh, that's great. You know, she just really loved it. So sneaking it in is just part of the design philosophy. It's what I do.
And probably on equal sides that your client in some way had some other idea of what a sustainable or an eco home actually was.
That's right.
That probably didn't sit well with her.
Well, I didn't actually ask her what she meant by it. What she meant by no.
I don't even think people know sometimes.
No.
I think it's just that.
It's just a name that people are a little bit scared of.
So, Travis and Amanda's green home is a product of many unique and varied things, but driven mainly by Travis's ever-growing expertise in sustainable home design. And that uniqueness starts as you pull up to their home and notice a garden on the carport roof. But why?
Well, the carport roof, there's a couple of reasons we've put a green roof on our carport. I did a lot of them over in the UK, and it's part of the guidelines over there to try and get your zero carbon output down. You offset what you're doing down below by having a green element above. So we've got a concrete slab, but we're still producing oxygen with a green roof on the top of that. So it's actually, you know, if you look from above, you can see grass, or in our case, plants. We also, it was their main focus of our house. You see it from everywhere. I didn't want it to be an iron roof or anything like that. And I've always wanted to build one, so I did, and put a green roof on our carport, which is it's a low rooting plants, very low amount of soil. It's all drought tolerant, And I must admit though, the first day that I actually did it and it rained, I didn't park under there. I just wanted to make sure it was going to stay up because it's a lot of weight, but you're designed for it. But there's a lot of weight in there. You get up there and you move like this and the whole thing sort of shakes a little bit. But
I'm disappointed in that lack of confidence.
no, well, it's stayed there so far, so it's all right. And
It's quite funny when people drive through and you're weeding the roof.
As you would expect, the house has all the traditional green home design elements, such as its north-facing orientation, cross-flow ventilation, aided of course by its raked ceilings and high-set louver windows, and there's natural light in every corner of the home. And unlike most new homes, Travis and Amanda's green home has a very lived-in country feel, perhaps because of the extensive timber look and feel, and there is no better evidence of this than throughout the main living area and kitchen, including their rather large central kitchen island. Do tell us more.
is we have our laundry at the end of our bench there. I didn't want a separate room for a laundry.
No, I didn't want a separate room.
Okay. Matt didn't want a separate room, yeah. So we've actually incorporated that. So I can justify a 5 metre long bench by saying that half's our laundry, this half's our kitchen. Yeah. But it's also about 200 mil bigger than another couple that have got it here, and I want it to be the biggest one in the Eco Village as well. So all the homes that I've designed, they're all just a little bit smaller.
Just
a pride thing, yeah.
Okay.
Part of the timber country feel also includes some specially sourced old wooden doors, and the flooring is courtesy of 2 old demolished homes that Travis recycled much of the timber from. And that combines with a slate tile floor that has solar hot water heating running through it. There's also timber ceilings, cupboards, shelves and joinery, complete with hidden spaces. The generous and light indoor living area opens to an inviting outdoor living area complete with daybed and a louvered shade, and where you can sit all day and watch the amazing wildlife. So, in the tradition of good design principles, Travis and Amanda's home has exactly what they need, allowing for no space that's wasted. And Travis explains why that's important.
If you've got wasted space in your home, hallways and space around furniture and things like that, you're paying for that. Okay, and it comes down to the whole cost factor again. People want to be able to afford to build like this. So I design areas and rooms around furniture. Now we were lucky we didn't have any furniture. We designed the furniture around the spaces, but we knew what we wanted to achieve. And so the same thing happens when I go to design for somebody else. I ask them about the furniture that they've got and how they use that furniture, and I get quite personal and ask them how do they live. Do they wake up and spend time in their bedroom, or do they wake up and get out of the bedroom straight away and go in there again at night time? If you do that, basically you need room for your bed, and that's it. If you spend time in there and you do, sit around and read a book and have a chair, then you need space for that. And they're the things that actually drive the size of the house up and down that actually cost money.
So do we have a preoccupation with too much space?
I think there's a big perception that bigger is better, and I just don't.
No, I bring people into this home and actually show them the spaces that we've got and take them into my bedroom. I know it's not ideal, but yeah, when everybody's out, of course. Come into my bedroom.
Well, Travis and Amanda are as happy as peas in a pod, and together with Eva and Hannah in a fantastic green home to keep them safe and warm, surely they must have achieved every family's ultimate goal. Or have they?
Achieved part of the ultimate goal, yeah.
What's the other part?
Yeah, what's the ultimate goal
To be
then?
mortgage free would be nice.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
We have to work harder or smarter.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've still got to tick that box, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
bigger things in life than that.
You're only young.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Special thanks to Travis, Amanda, Eva and Hannah, and our sponsor, Queensland Country. Next week is the final in this series, so tune in then as I look back through all the homes I've profiled. See you then.